Hey guys, welcome to my naked face. Today I'm going to be doing my typical weekend routine. I've already washed my face and moisturized and all that good stuff, and now I'm just applying some Aquaphor lip balm. I do this at the very beginning so that my lips are good and moisturized before I put on my lip product at the end. For primer, I'm using the Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Primer. I'm putting this in the middle of my face and sort of working it outwards. The middle of my face gets the greasiest and has the largest pores, so this is really good at keeping you matte in those places. For foundation, I'm using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. I'm in the shade R230. The R stands for red, so if you have red undertones, this is a good one for you. I'm putting 2 pumps on the back of my hand and blending that in with the Beauty Blender. And the 2 pumps covers my whole face for like a light to medium coverage. If you wanted to build it up, you definitely could and get like a more full coverage. And I'm just tapping that in. You don't want to swipe it on your face because then you get streaks. For concealer, I'm using the Naked Skin Concealer in the shade Light Warm. And I actually picked up a new shade in Fair Neutral and I like it a little bit better. This one's a little bit dark for me. But I'm just applying that under my eyes to cover my dark circles and on some spots on my chin. And I'm applying it to my nose down the bridge to highlight and on the ends because that always seems to wear off on me. And then I'm drawing a little bird claw on my face and tapping it in with my Beauty Blender. And my Beauty Blender is damp, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. But you always want to dampen it so that you get a more natural finish and so it doesn't soak up all your product. Then I'm just setting that with the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores pressed powder, and I'm using a Real Techniques setting brush. And I'm just going to apply that basically everywhere that I applied concealer. I'm doing it under my eyes to set the concealer so it doesn't crease, and sort of taking it down around my nose because it does actually do a pretty good job of minimizing the appearance of your pores. So I'm just sweeping that on where my pores are larger, which is on my chin and around my nose. And for the heck of it, just setting that concealer on my forehead. Now I'm using my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, giving it a good sniff as usual because it smells great. I'm using a Real Techniques blush brush to apply this to the outer parts of my face and on my neck. This is in the shade Light Bronzer, and it's a really good one if you are pale like me and you just need a little warmth. Now I'm using the Gwen Stefani Urban Decay, given praise for it, the blush palette from her collection with Urban Decay. I'm using the shade Cherry for blush with a Sephora, I think it's number 55 Pro Airbrush. And I'm just applying that to like the outer parts of my cheeks. I don't like to get too close to the middle because then it starts to look like I've been like running a marathon and I'm all sweaty. Now I'm taking a different setting brush from Real Techniques and the shade Angel from that same palette to highlight. This is a pretty good subtle highlighter if you're not trying to like glow from outer space. This is a good one just to subtly highlight. I was really feeling that side of my face, by the way. And I'm just applying a little bit down the bridge of my nose. To prime my eyes, I'm using the Bare Minerals 5-in-1 BB Advanced Cream Eyeshadow in the color Barely Nude. I'm using this as a primer, but you really could stop right here. Essie's in my lap, ruining my life as usual. You could stop right here and just use this as your shadow if you're looking for something really simple and fast. but I'm using it as a primer because it does stick pretty well and keep all the other shadows on. I'm using the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in Cornelius. It's like a light matte brown color on a Real Techniques crease brush, and I'm just applying that in the crease, swiping it back and forth. There's really no art to how I do this. Then I'm taking the shade Sunset Boulevard, also by Colourpop. This is a satin finish shadow, and it is just like a beautiful all over the lid shade. You wouldn't need to do any of the other stuff. You could just slap that on and be good for the whole day. Obviously you don't need to do things in the crease, but since I've got it, I just do because I like doing it. But I use my finger to apply these all over my lid. I find that the Colourpop ones are a little bit easier to apply with your finger than a brush. The matte ones and the metallic ones are a little bit easier to apply with a brush than your finger, but the satin and pearlized finishes are easier with your finger. Now I'm taking the Naked 2 Basics palette, and I'm using the shade Skimp. It's the lightest shade in the palette, on a Sigma E40, I believe. And I'm just applying this as a brow bone highlight. It's kind of a little bit shimmery, but mostly a light matte shade. Again, I didn't want to be too highlighted. Now I'm showing you upside down my Urban Decay 24/7 eyeliner in the shade Roach. It is like a red toned brown color. I mean, if you're not all into specific colors, it's a brown liner. And I'm using that to tight line, and I'm trying not to sneeze. Does anyone else want to sneeze whenever they're doing this part? And then I'm just applying it to my waterline. Now I'm using a Sonia Kashuk pencil brush, and I'm also from the Naked 2 Basics palette using the shade Cover, and I'm just using that to smudge out the liner on the bottom and sort of even out the look that's on the top. So I could have used Cornelius for this, but I just find that this is a little bit easier to work with, and it's a pretty similar color. Now I'm taking the Colourpop brow pencil in the shade Blondie, and I'm brushing out my brows with the little spoolie end, and I just draw like a line under where my brows are and sort of do short strokes to fill in the top part. It's not like a great technique. Again, I'm very bad at brows. I'm not confident in my ability to teach you how to do it, but that's how I do it. And they're sisters, not twins, so one always looks better than the other one. And I'm just taking the spoolie end again and combing through them to sort of make it look a little more natural. Now I'm using the Rimmel Super Curler Mascara, and I just want you guys to know that my entire video could have been just me applying mascara. Like, this is real time right now. I did not slow this down. That's how slow I actually do it. I did not realize until I watched this back that that's how slow I do my mascara. So I'm just gonna speed it up a little bit. Now my mirror's in the frame, sorry. But I'm just going on the bottom lashes, feeling it on that side. And I do go back into the tube with the wand to do the other side. I don't know if that's like one of those unhealthy things that you shouldn't do, but I do it. Whole face out of the frame, great. Now I'm taking a paper towel actually and wiping off the lip balm that I applied earlier. You can still feel it on there, but that's okay. Now I'm using the NYX lip liner in Peekaboo Neutral. I didn't show you that at all, but that's what it is. And I'm using that to line and fill in my lips completely. And you could leave it here. Again, like this is a great color by itself. I really enjoy it, and you could just throw like some chapstick on top of it so it feels a little more moisturized. But again, since I have other things, I'm gonna put something on top of it. But I really like this look by itself too. So I'm going to take the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani lipstick in Ex-Girlfriend. That was blurry. I'm sorry you couldn't see that. And I have this lip liner too, and it looks good together with it, but I really like it better with the NYX one actually. So that is it for this look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and you want to see more get ready with me type things. And subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you guys have a great day.